कि आप जैकमा के साथ बहुत टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं और आप जाते रहते हैं चाइना. What is one thing that you've learned very closely? Because you talk about it and you've
Yeah.
spent a lot of
I
time.
think, so these entrepreneurs, these extraordinary people, Jack Ma, Masasan, Warren, and many other whom I get to meet, they have one thing which is their signature learning. Signature learning. Jack Ma's signature learning is he's totally not a tech guy. He's totally not a finance guy, but he's a people guy. So he has this banyan tree kind of structure. So the attention Jack Ma gives to organization structure and number of people that are around him to hold that, it's so extraordinary that I believe the one legacy I want to leave at Paytm, जब die करेंगे, मतलब बहुत आगे की बात है ये, वैसे तो भगवान करे, but still is that there is a tree of team and there is a culture of meritocracy and movement forward and a scale that we can do it. The only reason we are not doing many countries wishfully we could do is our management bandwidth. इतना सारा करते हैं, फिर मैं चॉप करता हूँ, फिर करते हैं, फिर चॉप करते हैं, फिर लोग पूछते हैं कि पोस्टपेड कहाँ गायब हो गया? भाई बैंडविड्थ नहीं थी, क्या कर रहे हैं? पैसे जा रहे थे बाहर.
There are so many players entering. Google है, WhatsApp है, PhonePe है. सब कहाँ? Where do you see this whole payment fintech space moving towards?
मैं तो 2001 I started as a content company, then we were marketing company, then we were recharge company, then we were a PG company, then we are a payment company, then wallet company, then a payment company, then a bank company. तो ये बड़ा industry question मेरे से मत पूछो. I don't follow fintech industry. I follow the journey of a customer and I try to go there. तो आप ये पूछ सकते हो कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं? मुझे क्या पता बाकी लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं? उनसे पूछ लेना भाई. वो एक को माउंटेन व्यू में पूछ लेना, एक को मेलो पार्क में पूछ लेना, एक को शायद बैंगलोर में पूछ लेना. मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहे हो उनके बारे में? इंडस्ट्री का नहीं, शायद सब पैसे बनाना चाहते हैं. Everybody wants to make some.
सब पैसे बना रहे हैं, आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
पैसे बनाने. Our journey is that we would be effectively, so in all these avatars, we were labeled as one company, except that that label continuously outplaces itself. So I'd say that over the period, we'll be an internet ecosystem of the country. So like, you know, the classic US has it, China has it. The ultimate ambition would be the internet ecosystem of this country who has the largest moat of users and then businesses and then you do tens of.
Reid Hoffman, who runs LinkedIn, and so on. And he also backed famously Facebook, which is now doing pretty well. So I think, so he runs a program called 20 Under 20, more connectable for young kids who are still in school and college. So where he basically gives $100,000 as a gift to 20 people under the age of 20. The catch is you have to drop out of college. So getting paid not to go to college, how cool is that? So, so whoever feels excited about it, of course, you should apply to the program. I got the opportunity to become a fellow myself. So I think with Peter, one thing that I have very, very closely learned is being able to make sure that you don't take convention on the face value. नहीं तो हर इंसान ये बोलता है, नहीं तो ऐसे ही होता है. You know, I have literally seen this thing come by the shame theory so many times, right? In India, there is the shame theory. When you're very young and you don't wear clothes and you're roaming around, people are like, shame, 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 right? Over time, what happens is the shame remains, but it becomes silent. So imagine when you're in the 8th grade and you got the 3rd rank in the class, and you tell your neighbor that I got the 3rd rank. Somebody's like, great stuff, 3rd rank. Whereas inside, it'd be like, but you didn't make it to the 2nd one, which my daughter did. Shame, 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 right? And over time, what happens is, it keeps going on to your employment as well. That, you know, नौकरी मिल गई, हाँ मिल गई, कहाँ मिली? Oh, by the way, Infosys में मिली है, ये startup में मिली, and then internally it would be like, अच्छा startup में मिली है, Infosys में नहीं मिली जो मेरे बेटे को मिल गई. Shame, 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 right? So I think in that sense, Peter has at least helped me understand that be shameless is going to be one of the most key things of building a great company, because generally doing so many things that you have to do as an entrepreneur becomes extremely tough. I was reading this story before coming here. I do very little stage stuff, generally try to avoid it because I get slightly introvert with a large audience. And वहाँ पे I read that out of every 100 people who speak on stage, every 100 people who have heard people speak on stage, 90 of them would rather die than actually come on the stage and speak. That is how bad it is. So I felt to myself that ये तो बहुत बुरी चीज़ करने को मिल रही है. But I think you know, thank you.
as excited, as energized, as optimistic as ever.
Yeah. So I had a question like, over the years we've seen Ola and how Ola has been constantly reinventing, winning the Indian market, and you've had competition and how, right? And many countries, like many players across the world have not survived that kind of competition, and you are thriving, growing, there's Ola Electric. Tell us, what are some of the things that you've done to be here at the, be at the top of the game? Because all the entrepreneurs would like to be in the place that you are in.
That's a tough question, yeah. It's a very broad question, but I'll try and answer it in the best way. See, I'll give a context of what all we are doing. Till about last year, we were primarily India focused. Today, we are in 4 countries, India, Australia, New Zealand, UK. We operate in about 250 plus cities. We've also gone beyond the ride sharing or the mobility services play into Ola Electric, which is, we are designing and enabling electric mobility for the future for countries like India, and we are already taking that beyond India also. The whole trend in which this all comes together is mobility as an industry is actually one of the largest industries in the world. And a lot of our money, our wallet is actually spent on our car or the fuel in the car or maintenance of the car or using Ola or our competitors, etc. Right? Now, this mobility industry traditionally was based on a paradigm of owning a vehicle.
Yeah.
आप अपना scooter खरीदोगे या अपनी गाड़ी खरीदोगे. Now that has changed because the generation today, the youngsters, millennials, they don't want to own stuff, right? They want to experience stuff, and that's a big paradigm shift which is happening not just in our industry but across industries, right? And that's the kind of consumer wave that our industry was built upon, and it's only going to increase, right? So people today, India sells about 3-4 million cars a year. Total, we have about 30 million cars. To give you a comparison with China, China sells 20 million cars a year. That's, China sells in 18 months what India totally has, 30 million cars in total. And yet our roads are full of traffic, right? So this focus of increasing the penetration of shared mobility, of using vehicles and cars, autos, two-wheelers as a service is going to be a big focus for us. In India, in India, till we started from the big cities, the top 5-6 cities, but now we are taking our brand, our services much deeper into the country, and also we are increasing the kind of services we offer to consumers. We started with just a car, be it a sedan or a hatchback. We added auto rickshaws a few years ago. We added bike taxis now. We're getting into self-drive rentals. We will definitely launch car subscriptions. So the kind of mobility services that consumers want, we will offer the whole spectrum on our platform, right? And the consumers in one place can access any kind of mobility service they want. So that's one big vector of focus for us. Another focus for us has been, now that we've built this in India, and by the way, in India we are running our business profitably, no vanity metrics.